Meet Daniel, a talented software engineer with a knack for problem solving and a passion for creating innovative solutions. For years, he poured his heart and soul into his work, building a stable career he was proud of. But life, as it often does, took an unexpected turn. One ordinary day, Daniel found himself blindsided by a company-wide layoff. The steady job he relied on was gone in an instant, leaving him adrift in uncertainty. The rejection emails started piling up, each one a painful reminder of the opportunities slipping through his fingers. Slowly, the spark of confidence that once defined him began to fade, replaced by a heavy weight of doubt and despair. Little did Daniel know, this Thanksgiving would mark a turning point in his life. A sudden knock on the door pulled Daniel out of his thoughts. It was Mrs. Carter, his neighbor. "Happy Thanksgiving, Daniel. I brought over some cookies to share with you," she said warmly. She handed Daniel a tray of slightly burnt cookies made with love. "Thanks," Daniel said, taking one. She smiled warmly. "A group is serving Thanksgiving dinner at the shelter downtown. It's simple, but meaningful. You should join us," Mrs. Carter said. Daniel hesitated at first, but her words stuck with him in the silence after she left. Finally, he grabbed his coat and headed out, not entirely sure why he even bothered. The shelter was alive with energy. Volunteers bustled, setting up tables with mismatched cloths and paper flower centerpieces. The air was rich with the scent of roasted turkey and spiced pies. "Welcome aboard, Daniel," Mrs. Carter said, handing him the ladle. "You're in charge of the soup station." At first, Daniel worked mechanically, his gaze fixed on the soup pot, barely aware of the faces passing by. A young girl stopped by. "Excuse me, mister. Is this chicken soup?" The voice, so soft yet clear, broke through the noise. Daniel looked up and saw her, a little girl bundled in an oversized jacket, her curly hair peeking out from under a knit hat, her wide, innocent eyes gazing at him. "It's turkey soup." "Here you go," said Daniel, offering her the bowl with a small smile. The girl's face lit up, her eyes brightening as she took the bowl, cradling it with both hands like it was the most precious thing in the world. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible, but full of warmth. Her eyes filled with gratitude as she added, "This is the first real food I've had in such a long time." In that moment, something changed within him. For the first time that day, he felt a sense of connection. It wasn't about the soup. It was her gratitude that made everything feel meaningful. "You're welcome," he whispered, his voice thick with unexpected emotion. Daniel stood frozen, his mind racing, feeling something deep inside that he couldn't quite grasp. By the end of the night, Daniel walked out of the shelter with more than just an empty ladle. He carried the warmth of gratitude, the power of human connection, and a faint spark of hope for the days ahead. Daniel came to understand that Thanksgiving wasn't about lavish feasts or perfect moments. It was about rediscovering what truly mattered, a sense of belonging, love, sharing, the strength of kindness, and the courage to take even the smallest step forward. From that day on, Daniel made a promise to himself. He would share his love with others whenever it was needed. Will you? Happy Thanksgiving.